Hello everyone, Colin Canet here from Woodworkweb. Today we've got something special for you today. Our friends at Freud Tools have sent us a doweling machine. Now if you've never seen or heard of a doweling machine, don't be too disappointed. This is a brand new tool, new to Woodworkweb and certainly new to the internet. So you're going to be seeing something today for the very first time. Now what a doweling jig does is it drills holes. In many ways it's similar to a biscuit jointer. A biscuit jointer is used to join wood, and a doweling tool can also be used to dowel wood. And here we have the doweling tool, the Freud Doweling Tool. In many ways it looks very similar to a biscuit jointer, and in fact the carcass is a biscuit jointer. The main difference is that this tool actually drills two holes into the wood rather than one slot like a biscuit jointer does. It has all the same adjustments as a biscuit jointer, but it has some more versatility that a biscuit jointer doesn't have. Now if you're building kitchen cabinets or any kind of cabinet and you're looking for adjustable shelves, this is the kind of tool that you can use to drill those holes up and down your paneling. One of the problems that I've had, and I'm sure many of you have had, is when you're joining two pieces of wood, often we use biscuit jointer. Now two pieces of wood are like this, pretty simple to put together. Gluing them together, of course, makes the wood slide up and down or back and forth. And of course, that's the problem with joining wood, and one of the reasons that we have biscuit jointers. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't happen to have a 24-inch wide sander or planer, so that when I'm joining pieces of wood together that are wider than 14 inches, I have to make certain that those joints are absolutely as close as they can be, because I can't run that through a sander or a jointer to get those joints even. And that's one of the problems with a biscuit jointer, is there is a fair amount of slop in those two boards joining. But this tool, we've just tested this tool, and we're going to do another demonstration with it. This tool uses dowels. And of course the fluted dowels are the best, because when you're gluing up, it allows the glue to ease back and forth through the alongside the dowel. The advantage with the doweling tool is there is not the same movement, there is not the same slop in the boards being allowed to move back and forth. So you can be far more accurate in joining wood. Now a lot of people... Okay, we have a couple of fairly long boards here, and they're not very wide, they're only a couple of inches wide. We're actually going to join these two pieces of wood together. Now one of the things that we found in our first test is that it does take quite a bit of effort when you're pushing this tool to drive those two drill bits into the wood. So what we discovered was the best way to make sure that we get good, accurate slots for the drill bit to go into the wood is to actually make a backing of some kind so that we can actually push against something. Now the first thing that you need to do in this situation is to mark, and you can do this accurately or you can do random, and we're just going to do random markings. You do need to use some kind of a square, because you want this as accurate as you can, because when you're joining the wood you want this to be as flat as possible. What you're going to need to be aware of is that when you're drilling from one side, you need to make sure that the opposite side, if you're going to use two drill holes, that they're going to need to be aligned in alignment. Now one of the big advantages of this tool that you can't see because of the poor quality of internet and this kind of video, is there is actually magnified plastic on the top of this. So when you look through the top of this like you would a biscuit cutter to push those drill bits into the wood, you are very, very accurate in lining that wood to those marks. So let's go ahead and we'll start drilling the holes in this first piece of wood. Okay, there we are. We've drilled our holes all the way through. Now I'm going to put only one dowel into one of the two holes, and I'm going to use the hole that was used as the marking, just above the marking line. Now the other thing that we found is that the dowel bits, the fluted dowels, need to be driven down. They need to be seated. If they wobble around, you won't get a good joint. So just tap those down with a rubber mallet. Align the second part. That is unbelievable. Again, I know you can't see that, but this is almost perfect. A little bit of sanding and this board is actually going to be absolutely flat. There's this one area here, there's maybe the lift of a thick paper. It's that close all the way along. Nothing like what a biscuit jointer can do. A very, very accurate joint. A very good tool. This will save you tons of sanding time. This tool is far more versatile than just simply joining wood together and making holes for cabinetry for adjustable shelves. You can also use it for other wood joinery. For example, if you're making doors, you can actually join the wood together, and we're going to do that in just a second here. You can actually join two pieces of wood together so that if you're doing butt joints or T-joints, for example, if you're making doors, very simple. And we're going to do that in just a second here. We're going to put this piece of wood, we're going to actually join it to one of the panels, one of the wood panels that we just previously jointed. Put the dowels in. Of course, if you were making this permanent, you'd use a little bit of glue. I think we'll just seat those a little better. There we go. And there we go. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing that that joint can go that quick. That, when I look at that joint here, there is no space. That is absolutely tight right up there, just like a butt joint would be. Great little tool. Have a look at it. See if it fits in your repertoire of tools. The Freud Doweling jig. Thanks for watching from Woodworkweb.